Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. I'm doing this live because this one is going to be quick and I don't want to do it twice. I saw this on Twitter and I find this to be mind-blowing, and maybe this is not just mind-blowing to me, so I am going to do a video on this. CNN, there's a former CIA counterterrorism official, Christopher Mudd, or Phil Mudd. Phil Mudd has feelings about the release of the Nunes memo, and Phil Mudd has commentary for Donald Trump. Now, I watched this, and it sounded to me as Phil Mudd is threatening the President of the United States. And not necessarily him is threatening, but essentially making the point that the FBI is in some kind of contest with the United States, or with the President of the United States, and the FBI will win. Now, what does win mean in this contest? And it strongly sounds to me as if Phil Mudd is making the case that the FBI in some way is going to try to take Donald Trump out of that office. We've seen how this game is played. We've been here longer than you, and we are going to win. That sounds like a threat to me. That sounds like a threat to me. And maybe it's not just me that this sounds like a threat to. But when there are already claims that the FBI is being politicized, and that there are members of the FBI who are either on this investigation or was on the Clinton administration, or the Clinton investigation, and didn't do what they were supposed to do on that investigation. When there are already claims that the investigation was being unfairly ran, that the investigation shouldn't have been put in the first place, seeing as the pretext for the investigation, there wasn't really much there in order to make that thing work. Seeing that this is the case, seeing that the memo shows that they potentially committed felonies, not telling the FISA judge all of the information associated with the case, meaning that the evidence is scant. The evidence was scant. Being on CNN and following that up, saying that the FBI is in some kind of contest with the President of the United States and the FBI is going to win that contest. I'm curious to know, what does win mean in this contest, in this process? And is the FBI playing with clean hands? The FBI is ticked off. Is the FBI now playing with clean hands? Was it playing with clean hands before? Let's take a look at the on CNN. Like I said, this one is not going to be long. I find this to be amazingly
The president's talking about basically corruption at the
not
FBI
a good
today, but we
idea to
oppose the leadership. The workforce is going to look at this and say, this is an attack on our ability to conduct an investigation with integrity. There's hundreds of agents and analysts working on this investigation. It's not just Christopher Wray, the FBI director. So the FBI people, I'm going to tell you, are ticked. And they're going to be saying, I guarantee it, you think you can push us off this because you can try to intimidate the director? You better think again, Mr. President. You've been around for 13 months. We've been around since 1908. I know how this game is going to be played. We're going to win.
What does that mean? We're going to win. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean in this context? We are talking about a law enforcement context. This guy has CIA counterterrorism. This is a law enforcement context. What does "we're going to win" mean from the standpoint of an organization that's supposed to be investigating the president even-handedly? I'm just saying, it sounds like this guy who was in prior counterterrorism is making a threat from the standpoint of terrorism, or from the standpoint of, I guess, from a legal standpoint, or from the standpoint of, we don't like what you just did, and we're motivated to take it out on you, or we're motivated to go after you for this. It's probably a bad move. Or I would say it's probably a bad thing to say on national television. I mean, mind you, you are looking out at the world and you are saying what you're saying. And there are a large number of people who are listening to you saying that the FBI is going to try to take down the President of the United States. It's fucking amazing. That's fucking amazing. Yeah. It's fucking amazing. And by the way, the Nunes memo goes beyond just the memo itself. Do you understand that ultimately the FISA court is just a rubber stamp on mass surveillance? Like, it's the government's way of coming up with a system that's not really a system at all that allows for mass surveillance. You go to the judge, you go to some random judge, some random agent. The only person who is in that secret court is the agent and that judge. This agent, this whoever it is talking to a judge, giving them information about you. That judge has to take everything that that particular agent say as being true, or at the very least, is taking what that person is saying is credible, whether it's credible or not. He just has an agent. He just has what information is being given. There is no public defender, public advocate, or anything else. That judge is making a decision based purely on the information of somebody who wants to get you. Understand what I'm saying? 99.7% of the FISA requests were granted. It's a rubber stamp. It's purely there, purely to put this kind of fig leaf of legitimacy on mass surveillance. So, whether they told the judge what they were supposed to tell the judge or not, whether they told the judge, look, this guy has connections with the Clinton campaign. This information is unsubstantiated. This information comes from the Clinton campaign paying opposition research to buy this particular guy off. Whether they told the judge that or not, it's very possible that with a percentage of 99.7%, nearly 100% of the requests for a FISA warrant are approved, they might have did it anyway. Now, and look, I still say this is kind of besides the point. You still need to tell the judge the information associated with it. And it seems like giving the judge information in a way that cuts it to make sure that investigation takes place is problematic. But my point to this goes a little bit beyond the Nunez thing. All of it is problematic. You have mass surveillance. And the people, for the most part, have said, okay, we're okay with this. We're okay. We're okay with the mass surveillance. We're so terrified. The terrorists are going to get us. The terrorists are going to cut our heads off. They're coming to our shores. They're going to eat our babies and kick our puppies. Oh my God, they're coming to get us. We must have one alphabet soup agency after the next spy on us from a mass surveillance standpoint. And if at any point they want to fuck over our rights, to decide to come into your house, spy on your information, your electronic communications, disregard any safeguards, then it's perfectly okay. At least 99.7% of the time, it's perfectly okay. If a cop wants to stop you and take your property, again, that's perfectly okay. The law allows for those type of things to take place. If the cop wants to shoot you in the face, he would probably get off and he would walk. And you can be put in prison for smoking a plant. Welcome to America. Welcome to America. This goes beyond the Nunez memo. It is amazing to me that lefties are defending a surveillance state just because they hate Donald Trump. That is embarrassing. That's fucking embarrassing. So I'm going to end this. Like I said, this one wasn't going to be long. This guy on CNN, what is his name? Phil Mudd. Phil Mudd. Good job. You've just threatened the President of the United States on national television, saying that the FBI is going to try to take down Donald Trump. Gold star. Gold star. I will end it at that. Like I said, this one wasn't going to be long. All right, guys. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to share, like, subscribe, and of course, you can always support through Patreon. Thanks, guys.